You're listening to the Astromommy Daily Horoscope, a forecast that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Whether you're a first-time listener or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in the Astromommy community. Without further ado, here is the Daily Horoscope. Sun square Jupiter, Moon opposes Mars and squares the nodes, and the Queen of Cups. Maintain your composure today, emotions may be high. Daily Horoscope Check-in for Thursday, September 12th, 2024. Good morning, friends. Well, I realized that I made a major error in my newsletter yesterday and said the moon was making a sextile to Mars when in fact it was Mercury who was making a sextile to Mars. I have corrected the post and the audio podcast. Unfortunately and fortunately, this mishap goes with today's astrology to a T. I discuss how in today's newsletter. I guess I need to buy my own mug because tapayos happen. However, I think I need to make a new mug with some colorful language added to it because that is how I am feeling about it today. Okay, let's get into the astrology. Today's transits. All times are in Eastern Time unless mentioned otherwise. We have one major transit happening today, and that is the Sun in Virgo perfecting his square to Jupiter in Gemini early this morning at 6:52 a.m. Almost all the transits of the moon, except one, happened within a few hours of this square. So what we are going to do is take a look at the chart of the exact moment that the sun squared Jupiter and discuss the moon's transits that occurred basically at the same time, and then we'll talk about the last transit of the day. Sun square Jupiter. We can see the sun in the chart above at 20 degrees Virgo 10 minutes on the left-hand side of the chart about halfway between 8 and 9 o'clock. He is in a square to Jupiter and Gemini, also on the left-hand side, but between 11 and 12 o'clock, shown by the red line connecting them. In addition to the Sun engaging with Jupiter, the Moon in Capricorn is in an opposition to Mars in Cancer. This opposition perfected at 6:56 a.m. The Moon is also in an applying trine to Mercury in Virgo, which became exact at 7:35 a.m. Additionally, both the Moon and Mars are about to square the nodes, which are at 6 degrees 44 minutes of Aries in Libra. The Moon in Capricorn will square the nodes from the southern bending at 10:56 a.m. today, and Mars in Cancer will perfect his square to the nodes on Sunday, September 15th, 2024, from the northern bending. So all of that is going on simultaneously today. Let's break these transits down. Sun square Jupiter. The sun represents our spirit, the plotline of our lives, our ambitions, and our vitality. And in Virgo, the sun illuminates where we need to tidy things, pay attention to details, organize, and adjust our schedules. Jupiter represents wealth, abundance, fertility, and good fortune, as well as indulgence. And in Gemini, Jupiter expands our intellect and our desire to collect information about people, places, things, and ideas. He expands our curiosity, our playfulness, and our interest in why people are the way they are. The square is said to be the nature of Mars and thus represents an event that requires us to actually do something, either physically or verbally, making an effort, pushing something through, pulling something out, or driving something home. With the Sun and Jupiter, this could be about what we believe in that fuels our everyday lives, or what we feel spiritually called to do in this lifetime. The Sun and Jupiter together in any aspectual relationship are inherently good in that they both can bring immense joy, good health, prestige, and recognition for a job well done. The square focuses this energy into actions, and it may be important to consciously direct this very potent positive combination into actions that we won't regret. According to astrologer Reinhold Eberton in his book, The Combination of Stellar Influences, the Sun and Jupiter in hard aspect can manifest as, quote, a materialistic mentality, conflicts caused by an arrogant and pretentious demeanor, illness through the wrong nutrition, extravagance and squandering, unquote. So we may need to be mindful of not overspending our resources or eating the wrong foods. The square between these two planets can manifest as something powerful, authentic, and divinely organized in our favor. Keeping these sentiments in mind, let's explore the transits of the moon I talked about that are happening right after this square. Moon opposite Mars. Just a few minutes after the sun squares Jupiter, the moon in Capricorn opposes Mars in Cancer. The moon is in her detriment in Capricorn, and Mars is in his fall in Cancer, but they are both in each other's signs. The moon is in Mars's exaltation, and Mars is in the domicile of the moon. What this means is that although there may be some challenges today, especially when it comes to keeping our tempers in check, the moon and Mars want to work together to find a solution to the problem, whatever that is. The moon may come up with some practical ideas to implement, and Mars may get pissed off and whine and complain that he has to do what the moon says, but I believe he will. How this pertains to us and our mundane lives may be a lot like what happened to me this morning while writing today's horoscope. I am not sure why I didn't catch the error in the newsletter during my editing or recording process yesterday. You can imagine how embarrassed I felt this morning upon finding the error. I was pissed that I made it and angry with myself for not catching it. This was Mars in Cancer coming out, anger toward the situation. Then the Capricorn moon kicked in with practical solutions. Just fix it, rewrite, re-record, and republish with an apology for being human and making an honest mistake. I am only human after all, and I do make mistakes. I could tell you all a string of excuses as to why I didn't catch it, like the fact that yesterday 4 out of 5 of my kids had sore throats, and I was writing and recording the horoscope while at the same time making people gargle, take vitamin C, and eat a healthy breakfast. But honestly, I have no idea why I didn't catch it. Well, I can't promise that I won't ever make mistakes, but I can promise you honesty and integrity and a heartfelt apology when I make one, followed by correcting the post and republishing. So far, I've written 1,098 posts and only made a few mistakes, so hopefully forgiveness is in the cards today. Moon trine Mercury. At 7:35 a.m., the moon in Capricorn formed a trine to Mercury in Virgo, which symbolizes being emotionally in tune with the details and swiftly making corrections and edits. Moon and Mercury in a trine can also manifest as the ability to talk about our emotions in an easy way, expressing them comfortably. We may feel safe communicating our thoughts and feelings today with others. This is also a great transit for working well with others, especially on projects where attention to detail is needed. Moon and Mars square the nodes. This whole experience that I had this morning really shows how the moon, or any planet, squaring the nodes is expressed in the here and now. Mars is approaching a square to the nodes from the northern bending, indicating a public event that manifests in an outward way and with the influence of others. I believe that sharing my feelings with you all is my way of publicly expressing this transit. The moon, on the other hand, is squaring the nodes from the southern bending, representing an internal, private event that occurs with the influence of the self or possibly people really close to you. I believe that finding my mistake and having to go through the practical steps of correcting it is how this transit manifested for me. Hopefully, these two examples can give you some markers of what to look for in your own life. Since Mars is still building up to perfecting his square to the nodes on Sunday, I think we may see a lot more of this archetype over the next few days in the news and with those around us. Watch out for anger, irritability, and possible violence, especially in large crowds. Later tonight, in the evening, the moon in Capricorn will close out the day with a sesquiquadrate to Uranus and Taurus at 8:46 p.m. The sesquiquadrate is a 135-degree angle that represents setbacks and delays. Since the moon has already opposed Uranus a few days ago when she was in Scorpio, this is the closing sesquiquadrate, meaning that whatever decision or ultimatum or tug of war came out of the blue last weekend, we are now trying to integrate that information, and there are hiccups and speed bumps along our path. Usually this means we are waiting for someone else to do their part so we can do our part. Whatever this is about for you, it will get easier tomorrow when the moon forms a trine to Uranus and Taurus retrograde, which may feel like the holdup gets removed and the energy starts to flow again. The tarot card. Let's see what the cards have to say. What is the guidance for today? Queen of Cups. On this card, we see a queen beside the sea. Her dress is adorned with beautiful patterns and grapes. She holds an elaborate cup that is closed, meaning that her emotional guidance comes from within herself and her subconscious mind. The sea at her feet is calm, and the sky behind her is free of clouds. Her feet do not touch the water, indicating that the Queen of Cups has emotional boundaries. She is content, introspective, and at peace. Cups represent emotions and our emotional reactions to things, receptivity, our feelings, our intuition, and our subconscious mind. Queens represent mature women in our lives, maybe even a water sign woman, but someone who has mastered their emotions and isn't overwhelmed by them. Or it could represent an energy of emotional maturity in the situation. In the upright position, the Queen of Cups represents a mature woman who is compassionate, emotionally secure, trusts her intuition, and cares deeply about people. She is able to hold space for others and their many emotional expressions, but she maintains her own boundaries. As the guidance for today, with the moon in opposition to Mars, I feel this card is reminding us to respond to life with emotional maturity and compassion. Maintain your boundaries today, even if you are facing big emotions. I would love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment. I hope this is helpful. Until tomorrow, Astromummy. Thank you for reading or listening to the Daily Horoscope. Quick links and resources can be found at the bottom of the newsletter. Today's card was pulled from the Roland Nordic Tarot.
If you seek knowledge and enlightenment, the Astromummy newsletter may be right for you. Side effects of reading or listening to the Astromummy newsletter are common and include joy, jubilation, delight, happiness, gratitude, love, triumph, feeling in tune with the universe, experiencing deep insights, reflections, and contemplations, a lightened soul, a lighter step, feeling awake when others are asleep, illuminated, enlightened, having spiritual experiences, noticing repeating numbers, animals in nature, or songs on the radio that speak to you, getting vibes, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsmelliance, feeling like you know a secret language, biophilia, crying tears of joy, emotional literacy, feeling lively, stable, exalted, having an auric glow, or feeling like you woke up on the right side of the bed have all been reported. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletters, I will make a very small commission. Thanks for listening.